Hey everyone, welcome to our daily gratitude and affirmation practice. Look at that sun. Number one, gratitude. We have a beautiful sunny day out. Number two, guys, I got some sleep last night. I was in bed like before 10. I think, fell asleep in the tub for a little bit. Slept. I got like 9 hours of sleep last night. Oh God, it was so amazing. So I'm feeling like I actually have excess energy today. Number three, I've really enjoyed how I started off my morning. Got my daily plan organized, and then promptly just reshuffled a few things around. So I do this thing every Sunday where I have this ongoing list in my phone, and anytime that I have something that I want assistance with, that's weighing heavy, that I'm working through, I put on this list. I call it my universal help list. And then I just, talk to God about it. Or if, that's not something that you believe in, the universe, like whatever has your back outside of yourself, or even if you're just throwing it out into the ether, right? I found that this really helps because it's almost like anything I put on that list, in my mind, I'm like, hey, I'm giving it over and you guys can work on it with all like abundant and excess and unlimited energy while I am living my life. And it makes me feel so good, like you're in partnership with something else. Oh, there's little cardinals. Let's see if I can get, no, they're flying away. Oh, that was beautiful. There were 3 of them. Huh. Oh, and there's more. There's all these little birdies on the ground. I don't think I'm going to be able to really show them to you guys. See, they're all bopping around down there. Wow, there's a ton of them. See if we just go slowly and peacefully and just let them do. Oh, see, there was a red. Let them do their thing. And there must be some good eating. Oh, wow, there's so many birds. So that was so kind. That was beautiful. But I'm grateful I started my day off like that. I used to do that every single Sunday at the start of my day. You wake up and that's what I did. It just got me set up for the day. My little time with God, but I can tell when I fall off certain routines that I have for myself that I'm not in a good space. And that's one of them. So I've been trying. So like last night I went to bed early for one of the first times recently. And then just doing this practice early, really starting to ground myself back into my self-care routine. That's a little tip for you guys. You'll know if it's something that's actually benefiting you if you stop doing it or aren't consistent and you actually feel effects. Sometimes we do self-care, like if I painted my nails, right? That's not really a self-care act for me. It doesn't really add anything to me. Like, yeah, it makes me feel a little bit more put together, but whether I do or don't do them, like the effect is like almost non-existent. It's different than like having unwashed hair, right? So figure out what those routines are for you. Oh, you filmed them. No. Ah, I kind of caught them for you guys. They're out there. Ah, yes. We win, guys. Finally. If you're new here, I found deer almost every single day. Where are they going? They're just hiding behind a tree. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, they're gone. Oh, they're like... there's a stand of trees. Sorry, guys, my gloves just don't want to work today. Anyways. We did it! We found them! That will be a number 4 gratitude. You guys know, if you're here every day with me, I have been looking all week for these deer. Okay. Boy, is it really cold out. I don't think I'm gonna sit today. And I'm looking just to see if there's any others. Sometimes they'll come right up to the water. I think they're chilling in the woods right now. So I'll do one sweep and we're going to keep it moving. So frozen. Here we are, guys. A very peaceful, just put together woods. I tell you, one of the coolest experiences, I think, was when the herring flew up the river, and then when the hawk followed me. If you saw my video with the hawk, that was pretty freaking sweet. Okay, so oh yeah, self-care routine. So just notice how much energy something gives to you and how joyful it makes you feel, and those are the ones, or like how like just grounded within yourself. That's gonna be a clear sign that that's probably something you're going to want to do consistently in your routine to keep up with yourself and how you're feeling. Okay, so 4, we got deer. 5, I don't think you could see my breath, but I can see it. 5 for the day. Whew. Grateful I have horseback riding today, even though it is a cold day. Looking forward to talking with David as always. Oh my jeebies. My fingies. They're so cold. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to riding. I actually have thicker gloves, and I'm so grateful for hand warmers. Grateful I can also give my dad some hand warmers to stick in his gloves while we're working on the car. I don't know how my dad does it. He'll be out there with like a thin coat, and I'm over here with like 4 layers and freezing. What else? 5, 6. I'm excited. There's going to be a crystal show today. I love just sitting in on their lives. So, and I think, let's see, writing's probably going to be done around 1:30. I'm going to pick stuff up, pick up some more transmission fluid, and then go to my dad's. Let's just say that's another couple of hours. Let's say 2, 3, 4. So I will probably be on my way back home around 5, which is when the crystal show starts. And I just greatly enjoy watching it. I've learned so much. And the latest package that I got from them, because so I buy things for myself, but then I also buy things to sell. I'm getting everything organized in which to start selling. I'm hoping to start putting the first crystals on the website in January. It's my time horizon for when I do things has drastically shrunk, which is amazing to see as a metric. But, you know, I don't anticipate having so much, I guess, chaos in my life. I'm a hard no for chaos next year. So we're going to start fresh. We're putting stuff up. I have like a whole organizational system around selling that now, and hoping to add some more products to the website as well. There's a t-shirt design too that I'm thinking about, and then want to get a planner started as well. So all exciting things, continuing to build out my business, which is, you know, something I just really, really enjoy. So let's see. Yeah, so crystal show today. And, oh, that's what I was going to say. So my box, number 6, that was a fun little surprise yesterday while I was eating. I was unwrapping the latest box, and I actually got a piece of meteorite, which is really cool. And I have to say, though, the crystal that I got that I love the most is a rainbow lattice sunstone. Rainbow lattice sunstone? Mine actually has moonstone in it too, which is so freaking cool. But that is one piece. I've seen it before. I just didn't know what it was called. And now that I know, when you know, you know. Gonna get some at the show. Cannot wait for the show to be here. That time period. That'll be a number 6. What package came. And Really looking forward to the show. I was talking to my sister-in-law about it all day yesterday. It's going to be good. Number 7. Oh, my fingers are so cold. Number 7. Grateful it is Sunday. I got so much of my room cleaned and packed and organized. And I'm going to take a day break from taking a trip to the storage unit. But there is one thing. I do need to go to Lowe's to get thicker bubble wrap for wrapping up my computer and just things like my TV. And then also I have, you guys haven't seen it yet, it'll make its appearance in videos when I move at some point, but I have this beautiful resin ocean tabletop that I made. So I'll probably make a video about it to have all the footage, but that's going to go in bubble wrap as well. Anyways, so I need to get bubble wrap. But I'm so grateful that I was able to take the time to get everything. It's over on the other side. Packed up. I still have a lot of crystals to pack. But I think the next thing is organizing my electronics back into the suitcase that I have kind of carried them in. And figuring out, or putting them in a different suitcase, because that is a suitcase that I used when I went to Arizona last time. It's really handy when you go to shows to have something with wheels. But I might take a different suitcase. We'll see. But check out my hair and how blonde it is today. And look, we got some waves going on. Hell yeah. Yeah. We're just having a good day, guys. It's sunny and it is cold, but bearable. Number 8, let's just do good hair. And I think I might put some makeup on today. I don't know if I've decided to do that before riding. Definitely after riding, we're going to get a little dressy. Going to get a little dressed up for today. Even if we're just sitting in the house, makes you feel good, So, I think that's what I'm going to do. Number 9. 9 for the day. It's like getting a little hard to talk. It's that type of cold, I don't know if you guys experienced, where you breathe in and your throat hurts because it's so cold. That would be really cool if Monday it snows. And guys, Christmas is coming. That'll be number 9. Christmas is coming. Because I hung out with my family, I have no other plans. It's going to be a full day just inside. I actually think it's probably going to be a content day. So working on getting the remainder of the content done for 2025. Usually, last year was the first year that I strived to do an entire year all together ahead of time. And then I picked September to start organizing and prepping everything for next year, but we're in December. It's not too bad. September, October. Well, I would have needed the full month of September, but October, November, December, still gonna get done. So that'll be a day. I'll just listen to videos, work on content, hang out, relax. It's gonna be so good, guys. 10 for the day. I thought about this yesterday. I am so grateful that there's just a never-ending abundance of books in which to read and choose from. I finished the Throne of Glass series, and it made me cry. There was many moments where it just really hits you in the feels, not the fields. So cold. And yeah, and I had a moment where I was like, what am I going to read next? And so I have a bunch of books already in my Kindle that I'm going to read, but just grateful that people are just continuously being creative and coming out with more books. So that'll be my number 10. Okay. And I was going to read while I was taking a bath last night, which, oh my God, that Epsom salt is magic. I'm telling you guys, if you're sleeping on Epsom salt, don't. Get some, take a bath, or I think they have, you could do a foot soak actually. It'll have the same effect. So anyways, what was I going to say? Those are my gratitudes. All right, so message of the day. I'm really excited for this one. So this is going to combine a process that I learned through writing, but it's a life principle, right? So let me explain the process that you use with writing, and then I'll explain how that integrates into your life. When you're working with a horse, horses are incredibly energetic creatures. They will know if you are not being your highest self. They will know if you are not standing in your sovereignty. They will know if you are standing in weak energy. And they will help teach you how to be the most effective leader and sovereign being that you already are. But they essentially teach you what's a lie and what's a truth about yourself. So when you're working with a horse, it has a lot to do with energy and energetically requesting, right? So we're going to pivot on this path. I'm going to switch my hands. The first 2 times you ask a horse, it's with energy, and there are ways of doing this. If you guys are interested, I can make a separate video on that. But essentially, you're asking with your energetic state and being incredibly clear. Part of it's the mental picture. The other part is the energy of what you want and being unwavering about that. And then giving them a chance to respond, right? And the more you work with horses, the more you can tell whether they hear you and they just don't care. They hear you and they're responding with the right answer to the question. Or if, maybe you think you're being clear, but they know your energy isn't clear. And so they don't really know what you're asking. Or they're waiting for you to be clear with yourself, right? So that's the first step in the chain. And now I'm going to say this quick aside for a second. They have to know the right answers to the questions already before you're asking. So what does that mean? If you're asking them to do barrel racing, go around a barrel, and they've never done that in their life, and you're getting angry with them, that's unrealistic, right? They don't have the answer, and you can't assume that they know what you're looking for because they haven't been taught the right answer, okay? So let's assume that they already have the answers to the question that we're asking, right? So first time you ask with energy. The second time you get a little bit louder with your energy. Hey, I requested this. And if it's still not happening, and again, they know the right answer, then you're going to have a verbal command. Let's say you want the horse to just walk. You ask with your energy, you picture them walking, doesn't happen. You put a little bit more emphasis on it. Hey, we're walking. Still have the clearer picture. They don't walk. The next thing you do is you say verbally, walk. And but the emphasis on the word is still with energetic intent of we're doing this. And let's say they still don't walk, they're deciding that, hey, I'm just going to have a lazy day, or they just don't care as much. You haven't developed a really strong relationship for them to have a strong partnership all the time. Then the next step is squeeze, squeeze their size. Still don't kick, but the time in which that should happen is, relatively together, right? And remember, they need the right answers to the question. They need to know what a walk means and the request of a walk, and, what each of those, the squeeze, the kick, they need to mean something to them. So how does this apply to our lives as with human beings? It's the same principle, okay? Let's just say, pick any relationship that you have, right? How often do you find yourself having those conversations with yourself about what you want to see in the relationship? And how often are you sitting there and we're all energetically connected, right? So how often are you actually energetically asking that with your partner? Okay, not verbally, but just the intent of energy. Or let me give you a good reference point of this happening. You ever have the same thought at the same time as somebody else, and you have a moment in the conversation, you're like, oh my gosh, I was just about to ask you that. Energetic intent, right there, clear as day. So let's say you're energetically asking for something with your partner, or with your child, or with a coworker, a boss, whatever, distant family member, you pick. You're energetically asking, you're formulating that picture, nothing happens. You get a little bit more clear about the picture, you get a little bit more strong in your energy. And again, this could be emotionally, right? Your emotions get a little bit heightened. Now comes the step that a lot of people don't like doing. You gotta actually physically ask, right? Make it clear what your expectation and the intent and your desires and your needs are. And a lot of times we think that we're being clear, and we're really not. We do a lot of beating around the bush. We say, if you want someone to take out the trash, right? Let's use that clear example. In your head, you visualize them taking out the trash, and maybe the energy towards them is like, oh, I wish that would be nice if they take out the trash. Okay? That's one. Next time you find yourself, this is the second time you have this thought pattern. Now it's a little bit more strong. Emotion's a little bit more intense. You're thinking about them actually taking out the trash. This is what you want. And your emotions, it's not just wishful thinking or maybe a desire. It's there's a bit of frustration in there, right? There's this would be really nice if I had help, okay? The second time you realize that you're thinking this and you haven't had that conversation with them, because a lot of times we skip steps too. Maybe you started with verbally asking them and nothing happened, okay? You didn't build that energetic relationship. And maybe they do it and maybe they don't. Let's say they hadn't. Now you're at this step, okay. You're at the verbal step, and you still have to ask yourself, do they have the right answer to the question? Have they taken out the trash before? Have I set the expectation that this is something I want? Have that conversation with them and, hey, I have a need for assistance with taking out the trash. Can you please meet me in this? What does that look like for you? What time is good for you? How can we build this into our relationship, right? If this is something you have an expectation on and want to see done, then clearly it's important to you. It's worth a conversation. Now, if they come back with, remember, if you never had that conversation to start, if that wasn't groundwork that was already set, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize that was important to you. Yeah, let's start to, make that a habit. Oh my gosh, the wind. I gotta start walking back my hands. So, remember, with a pattern, it might not be consistent at the start. But at least they haven't answered the question. They know about the trash. So, in that conversation, if you energetically asked, you are then saying, hey, we talked about the trash. I would love to have some help. What does that look like for you today, right? They need to still be an active part of this conversation. Just by asking someone and expecting them to do it exactly how you want them to, that's not a partnership. That's just, it can veer off in several not great directions, whether it's control, manipulation, you know, power over. So let's say you're at the verbal stage now, you're talking with them, and they say, hey, I'll get to it right after I come back from going to the store. Great, perfect, thank you. Let's say they come back from the store and it's not done. Now here is the last two steps. So remember with the horse example, asked energetically, verbal, they still didn't walk, squeeze, right? So what is going to be the squeeze for you? And remember, the squeeze is a boundary. And it's hey, if this doesn't happen, this is what's going to occur. And like that also needs to be a part of your verbal conversation with them. Hey, if the trash isn't getting done, then I'll take up the trash, but I'm not gonna have energy for dinner. Like whatever you want that boundary to be for yourself, right? Because remember, boundaries are for you, they're not for the other person. So if you're feeling a certain way about the trash, what boundary do you need to set with yourself for you to be okay? It doesn't, and keep in mind too, this is not about punishing the other person. It's about recognizing, how do you feel when the trash is not taken out? What state are you in? And what does that mean for you in meeting your needs? So maybe part of the squeeze is you have a follow-up conversation. Hey, you mentioned you were going to be taking out the trash after you came back. Let's say it's an hour after. Is there a time, and let's say they didn't give you a time of when they were going to take it out after. Is there a time when you were thinking about taking it out? And that now that you're home. Oh, I'll do it in an hour. Okay. Well, an hour goes by, they haven't. So what was that boundary that you set? If the trash isn't taken out, are you taking it out and then not doing something else? Are you leaving it until they do? Are you at this point angry and need to take the night for yourself away from your partner? So what is it? And there should, that's the squeeze, right? It's hey, you have that second follow-up conversation and you're applying some pressure, but then also letting them know, okay, well, if that's not done, then I'm probably going to be angry and I'll probably take the night to myself. So let's say they still don't do it. It's now dinner time. And they're like, hey, where are we going for dinner? And you're like, now here is, going back to our horse example with the kick. Here is the kick. You've asked, you verbal conversation, squeeze, and now it's I'm not messing around, right? So then you go, hey, because remember, boundaries are for you, not the other person. I'm feeling frustrated that, the trash wasn't taken out. I mentioned that, if it wasn't done, I was just going to take the rest of my night because I'm feeling frustrated and I don't want to put that in our relationship. So I'm actually going to hang out with myself for the night. However that person reacts to that is their stuff to deal with. As long as you were clear about your intent and what was needed, both of you discussed and agreed upon what the situation would look like, and you were clear about what the result was going to be if it didn't occur. And again, as the leader, as the person who is sovereign, you have to stand firm in that boundary. That's the other area where people mess up, and horses will let you know. They'll know when you can't be consistent and you have no follow through, or have inconsistent follow through as well. So if that moment happens and the person's like, oh, well, I just took out the trash, I did it, and they're all lovey-dovey, and you're like, oh, okay, like, I guess I'm not that mad. He still did it. You're still communicating that this person can be inconsistent and they can do everything on like their time or not in like the way you guys agreed upon. And the result will be that nothing will happen to them, right? And again, boundaries are not for the other people. It's for you and your state of mind and your peace of being. Boundaries help you to be in your own sovereignty. So I know it was maybe it sounds like an extreme example with trash, but like the little things, how the little things are handled are going to be magnified with the big things. And I'm not even saying that I'm perfect in this. This is something I'm still learning. But the reason why I wanted to bring it up today is because, do you want to go this way or do you want to go that way? We'll go this way. Is because I really thought about how much time, at least myself, that I spent in the energetic states and making the pictures and creating the scenarios and, just being in my own head and being in my feelings. And like, even if I ask, by the time I ask, like, your emotions are so heightened that the person gets an extreme version and they're like, whoa, what happened? We never had this conversation. So if we thought about those 4 steps and how we can shorten them in our own lives, I just think that my life would be so much more peaceful. Once having a thought is just a thought. Twice of having a thought is starting to be a pattern. 3 times having a thought, if 2 is too short for you, that's a pattern at that point that needs to be addressed. But yeah, we just ruminate. Like, that's what ruminating is like we don't have another step beyond that. So that is something I'm going to start incorporating in my life to stop rumination. If I've thought about something 3 times, I need to verbally address it. And if I verbally address it, like by the 3rd time, you should be thinking about how you want, when you're going to have the verbal conversation, how the verbal conversation is going to go, like what boundary do you need to have with yourself and how are you going to communicate that? So think about it. What we're doing in our personal lives is as if we are sitting on the horse and we're not speaking. Our bodies they have the energy of like walk and go. But what we're doing to ourselves is we're sitting on a horse, which is our life, and we're sitting there and we're just energetically saying, go, 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 go. And this horse is like, I'm going to sit here. And half of us don't get to the point where we tell the horse, and we take all that energy, we go, walk. And then the next step that we don't ever get to is if they still don't go after walk, we're just saying walk over and over and over again. And we don't have any boundaries. We don't have the squeeze or the kick to put the pressure on for the horse to decide if he wants the pressure off. Do you see how, it's such a simple concept, but in applicability, we're not consistent with it. So I'm going to start recognizing when I have a thought pattern and hold myself accountable to formulating boundaries. Now, maybe it's a situation that's unsafe for you to do so. Totally fine. But you still need to establish that boundary for yourself. And you still need to understand, redefine the rules of negotiation that you have with yourself and the situation. But that's the message of the day. We went deep today, guys. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if any of this doesn't make sense. I'm super happy to explain. We're all on this journey together. And, formulating better patterns of existing for ourselves. But Affirmation time. Number 1, as always, I'm divinely guided and supported. I can ask for help whenever I need it. I humbly ask for help today. 2, I love myself deeply, fully, completely. Number 3, I'm not stressed. Everything's been working out for my ultimate good. I am in my highest state of being and receiving. Number 4, sleep is my divine practice. Deep, refreshing, peaceful, healing, soul-refreshing sleep is available to me each and every day, current today and every day. Number 5, miracles and blessings are a common occurrence in my day. I love to see them and I deeply desire more. Number 6 for the day. I choose again, and I choose far better for myself. Willingly, lovingly, excitedly. Number 7, breathe easily and deeply in the sanctuary of bliss, peace, and protection where I powerfully reside. Number 8, I am freaking powerful. I am a powerful co-creator of my present reality, and all of my deepest desires are here for me to interact with. Number 9, what a beautiful day to be alive. Let's claim today our accomplishments and what we want to experience, and appreciate the fact that we are alive and we get to experience all of this. 10 for the day. I'm healed, plain and simple. I already have all the answers, the knowledge, and awareness that I need to continue to make better and better choices for myself. That is all for today, guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm going to go inside. I am frozen. And, I'm looking forward to riding. But I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. What you're grateful for, what are you affirming for your own day? How are you doing? Let me know in the comments below. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.